Hi everyone. Today I want to share some technical tips for teachers. Being in the virtual setting for 7 years, I've picked up a few tips and I have been taught quite a bit from several of our staff members on some tips and tricks to make teaching virtually a little easier. So what we're going to do right now, the first thing is walk through how to password protect your documents. So I am going to go through this live, but I did want to provide the PowerPoint for you so you can use it as you walk through it if you prefer like a paper version. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is download PDF Fill and follow all of the promptings on the website. So this is the button that you will hit when you go here. And then once you run the document, you download it, all of those actions that we're used to doing. You're going to double click this icon that will now be on your desktop to open the program. So once you do that, you'll be given these options. These are all of the free things you can do in PDF Fill. So what you'll do is you'll hit the encrypt option and then choose the file that you would like to choose or to password protect. So then you'll choose the password here, whatever you would like for it to be. And then it will pop up for you to rename the document. So another file box will pop up for you. And in the live version, you'll see that when I actually password protect a file for you to see how this works. So then you're going to rename the document. I usually put _ PWP just to show that that is the password protected document. So when I do send those to parents, that I choose the correct one. And also it is best practice to send the password in a separate document, or you can give it over the phone if they can't open it. So those are some little tips right there to help you. So to open the password protected document, this screen will pop up for you in Adobe. Even in the free Adobe, you'll enter the password and then you'll be able to access your document. So now, before we go on to some online sharing options that you may have just seen on the next screen, I'm going to kind of go through it live to show you what it looks like. So this is my desktop. So I'm going to choose encrypt and decrypt options. I'm going to choose IEP. Let's choose that one. I'm going to put in the password I want to use. Obviously, it has to be the same thing. And you're going to encrypt as. And you're going to rename it. Like I said, I usually put IEP, and usually it's the student's name, obviously. If it's Sally Sample. So I'm going to move my text box over to this screen so you can see it. So to open the IEP or the document that you're choosing, this is what it will pop up as. You'll enter your password and then it will pop up. So it has popped up on my second monitor that you guys cannot see since I'm only sharing one screen. But then you will have your password protected document. So you are able to send that to parents or any other staff member or anyone who has a stake in the student's education. So that is very briefly what it looks like to use PDF Fill. It is a free program. I know several of you do not have the Adobe Pro version, which allows you to protect, convert, all of those fancy Adobe things. So this is one way. This is what I used for many years before I was able to buy the Adobe Pro for me and my staff members. It's certainly a great investment if you can do it, but this is a way around that. So that is one tip that I wanted to share with you on how to password protect. And then next we're going to talk about how to share online accommodations or IEP plans with your staff, since you are now not in the brick and mortar building where you're able to walk down the hall, hand them a copy, talk to them about the accommodations, how to implement this. So I'm going to show you a quick way through Google Drive to do that with your staff, your principals, any therapists that work with the student. So I'm going to show you how to use that in Google Drive. Okay, so in our online sharing, we're going to discuss how to share your documents with your staff members who are in your school, the accommodations verification, and a sample survey that you can send to your staff members who are to have the IEP, understand the IEP, and then provide those accommodations to verify that they did receive it and are going to provide those in the virtual environment that they're now in. So, so for Google Drive, I made two little folders here. So for your caseload, you probably want to put all your students here. And so let me show you how to make a folder. It's probably no new news for you. Very simple, but just title who your student is. So this is for Sam Sample. We're going to create his folder and then go into his folder. And what we'll do is that IEP that we just created, you can do just the regular IEP for this student because it is only going to be shared with those people who have access to you. But if you want to be even more cautious, of course, you can share that with through a password protection. Sorry guys, I'm thinking too far ahead. All right, so then once you want to share it with your staff members, so if this is a third grade student and you just want to share with the third grade teacher, you would right click and then choose share. I'm just going to share it with myself so that obviously doesn't go anywhere. So you enter in the email of the person that you want to share this with, and then you send that on to them. I gave you a space to enter a note. You can, of course, do that. So then they will have access to any student documents that they need to understand the child, the accommodations that they receive in the general education environment, etc. So once you do that, good rule of thumb for us is that, again, we can't just walk down the hall to see these teachers and to make sure they understand. So what we have done is that when we upload an IEP, we send it to them through email, and then we ask the teacher to create or to submit a survey response. So this is just a sample of ours for middle school. They really look the same for everyone, but we separate by school. So we put the privacy statement, that they agreed to the statement that it's they will only look at the students who they have an educational interest in, to abide by FERPA, and then they put the first and last name of the student. They reviewed the accommodations. I'm sorry, this is for the teacher, and then they put the students' names here of the accommodations and the IEPs that they reviewed, and then yes, no, I need more clarification, etc. for the accommodations of the student. And so then they submit that, and we use that for our tracking purposes to make sure that we have given all educational stakeholders the information that they need for their student with an IEP. All right, the next tip I want to share with you guys is about speech to text in Google Drive. So this is something that you'll want to coach your parents on, teach them how to do. So you can do that with them, in your Zoom classroom, or walking them through it through the phone. But if you have a student who has a physical need or has the accommodation for speech to text, and that's been provided in the brick and mortar school, but now needs to be in the virtual environment or the e-learning classroom, which is now at home, you can teach them how to do this. So what you want to do is you will want to open a new document, just a new blank document. So if they're doing compare and contrast essay, you just title it, and we'll just put my name so that the student is, for the teacher. They need to put their name on everything now. So what you'll do is you'll go to Tools, and you'll go to Voice Typing, and then you'll click to speak. So to share your essay, you will just type, and Google Drive will put what you are saying, and there is your speech to text, period. So as you can see, this is an easy, free way for your students to receive this accommodation if they have it on their IEP or 504 plan, without having to rethink. And, I know that I have 4 kids now at home, so for me to write down everything my student says who may have cerebral palsy would be just an impossibility when I could get them just hooked up with this free little speech-to-text program. And as you can see, it's still saying everything I say. I'm going to turn that off. But it will obviously give you little promptings and new things you can share. So that is a quick and easy way to do speech-to-text for your kiddos. Okay, another accommodations trick that I want to teach you guys about is Speakit. Speakit is an online downloadable screen reader. It's free through the Google Chrome store. So I'm going to show you guys how to download that. And again, this is something that you have to teach your parents how to do. You know, get in the classroom with them, have them share their screen, or walk them through it through the phone. But once you get comfortable with this, it really is a great way to provide that oral administration accommodation in the home for a student who has some, you know, heavy social studies reading that the mom just, you know, or the learning coach, whatever you guys call them now that they're at home, whatever they're working on, you know, it's very difficult to read everything all the time for a student who has that accommodation just throughout the day. So this is a really easy way to provide that. So I'm going to show you how to add it to your Google Chrome so that you can help your parents and they'll understand how to use it. All right, so you're going to add the extension to it, to your Google Chrome. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like. So it says it has been added. So that's great. So I'm going to slide over. We use Achieve 3000 for our students on one of our reading remediation plans. And don't worry, guys, this is my own child who has I added, but she hasn't done anything. So I'm not breaking any FERPA laws here. So this is how you use it. So all you did was add the extension. And so you're going to highlight what you want read. You're going to right click and then choose Speakit because it is one of your options. So as you can see, anything, so if you create a Word document for your students to go over, just like if you're working on third grade social studies and you're learning about slavery in the South or something along that, and you type it, and the students can access that and get to it. So even, I'm not sure if I can do it on here, but anything that's on your screen that you can highlight the text, it will read it for them. So it's not perfect, but it is certainly better than a mom who's having to read every single thing to her child as an accommodation. So this is another way that to make things easier for yourself and your families. So that's all of my tips and tricks today that I have. I'm going to make this PowerPoint available with the recording. So again, if you guys need any help or suggestions with anything I've shared today, please reach out. My name is Jennifer Matthews, jmatthews@k12.com, and I'm happy to help with anything you may guys need. And I hope you continue to have fun with your e-learning experience. Thanks, everyone.